there are winners, and there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win.
So then you might ask yourself, well, what's the best antidote to the discomfort of life? And you might say, well, it's comfort. And I suppose that's what you act out when you swaddle a baby. But a better antidote is something like adventure to excellence. That's far better antidote to suffering than the mere absence of suffering.
The ladder of success is never crowded at the top. The reason why it's never crowded at the top, most have a fear of going that high. You see, if I go that high, I won't be around my friends, I won't be around my family. And success has a way of separating you from it. But when you start to try to go higher, you'll find that there are crabs in the bucket. People want to grab you by your coattails and pull you down, rather than stand underneath you and push you higher.
One thing about being in dark places, if you have the courage to stay in there long enough, your eyes will start to adjust to the darkness. Your body and mind will always adjust to more suffering, to more pain. If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself.
That's your gift. Quit running away from the gift. Your gift will make room for you. Stop trying to be something you ain't gifted at. It mentions your gift. What are you gifted at, and do that? Stop tripping.
No more. No more. No more. No more excuses. No more, I'll start tomorrow. No more, just this once. No more accepting the shortfalls of my own will. No more taking the easy road. No more bowing down to whatever unhealthy or unproductive thoughts float through my mind. No. No more. No more waiting for the perfect moment, and no more indecision, and no more lies. No more weakness. No. No more. Now is the time for strength.
So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
You have to put in the work. You have to be dedicated, you have to give it your all, you have to get up before others get up. You might have to sacrifice sleep on some nights in order to achieve things that others have never thought about doing. You must think outside the box and then stand on that box and remind folks that they can do it because you do. There is a roadmap to success. And it's narrow and it's hard, but it is God-directed and God-given. You cannot do it alone, but if you do it, you will find that there are those who will see you and follow your lead.
And through strength, and through will, and through unwavering discipline, I will become what I want to be.
You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. change your attitude, you change your altitude.
But what a lot of us do is we talk ourselves right out of it, because the first thing that we do is we ignore our soul and we pay attention to the world. We ignore what our soul is telling us, and we go trying to find validation in the world to bring credibility or discredit what our soul is telling us. Your soul is connected to God.
Do you want to live a life of contribution? Do you want to be a better father? Do you want to have your own business? Are there dreams you want? Everybody will say yes. But see, want shows up in conversation. Expectation shows up in behavior.
We have this thing we talk about, we want to be legendary. We don't want to be good, we don't want to be great. We believe those are superstars, they come and go. We want to be legends, we want to go down in history in whatever we do.
You have to do the work. You've got to hold the line. You've got to make it happen. So dig in. Find the discipline. Be the discipline. Accomplish. That's it.
The world is waiting for a captain, a leader, for someone to step up and be an example that we can overcome the ghetto, you can overcome failure, you can overcome divorce and failures of businesses, discover that your character can get fixed and become someone. And the moment you become someone, you can help someone. You're an original. There's only been one of you. There is no one like you. There is no one that can do exactly what you do. Your story is unique. Your story is what will give way to glory. Your story. What you've been through, what you've experienced, what you've survived. Yes, I know you've had pain. I know you've had disappointments. Yes, I know you wanted to give up, but you can't. You see, pain must continue in our lives because it is a reminder that we are alive. It is a reminder that we found a boundary that we got to break through. And when you get a breakthrough, you turn into that beast that everyone talks about. You turn into that monster. You turn into that one that can make a difference. You're the playmaker. You're the shot caller. You're the difference maker. But in order to become that, you must go through that pain, that discomfort.
Why are you so nervous? Because the day you become content, the day you stop evaluating yourself, the day you stop growing, the day you stop getting better is the day you die, is the day the person who's trying to catch you will get you.
Get up before the sun. Be ready to attack. Yes, that means get up early. This will be hard at first, but it will become normal. And once you are accustomed to it, early rising is guaranteed to make your day better. So get after it.
A lot of people are telling you to set goals, and I get it. That's a great mindset to have. But I'm gonna tell you something, that's a dangerous mindset to have. Because a lot of us, we set our goals based upon our experiences, not off of our capabilities. And what I mean by that, a lot of times when we set goals, we limit ourselves. Goals are something that you reach. Let's be real, how many times have you reached the goal and then you got complacent? How many times have you reached the goal and then you fell off? Because you got comfortable, because in your mind says, I've arrived. Once you reach that weight loss goal, you relax because your mind says you arrived. And a lot of times we fall off because that arrival mindset happens. And the truth is about life, the ones that really meet the greatest version of themselves, the ones that really live the greatest life, they never arrive.
The problem is most of us will say life is too painful and we start losing ourselves. Sometimes it's because we started loving someone else more than we love ourselves and didn't realize that we too are special. Sometimes it's because we'll look at a sport and think that because we lost that game that we lost something of value or some kind of purpose. If I lose my undefeated status, it doesn't mean that I can't be the greatest. If Muhammad Ali can be remembered as the greatest and he had losses, so can you. Losses are not things that you can be ashamed of. It was a failure in a moment. But it is only a failure that stays if you don't try to get back up. You are more than the pain you go through. The pain is a reminder that you can go through. It's not a stopping point.
Fight them as they creep in with their offers of instant gratification and immediate rewards. Fight them for every inch they try to take. Do not surrender any ground ever.
You live in a dominant culture that is designed to destroy your sense of self and your belief in yourself, and you have to learn ways in which you can begin to connect with this power that you have within yourself to handle where you are. The key is to be constantly in a perpetual process of discovering the truth of who you are and fighting constantly to look for ways in which you can escape the inner conversation.
Because, sure, life is tough, but it gets a lot easier when you're laughing at it. So, despite the suffering, in fact, to spite the suffering, to spite the hardship, to spite the challenges, laugh at them all. They can't stand it when you do. And they all get easier. Yes, laugh at them all. Laughter wins.
It's something that tells you that there is layers to greatness. Some people will stop at good enough. Others will stop at good. Others will realize that good can give way to very good. And then the real champions realize I can be great. Doesn't mean I'm great in every area, but in this one thing that I perfect, this one thing that wakes me up in the morning, and this one thing that makes me go to my knees and thank God for giving me this gift.
I can, I will, I must. We turn tragedy into triumph. We turn that's what lions do. Lions don't cry, lions don't give up, lions don't quit, lions hunt. That's what we do for a living.
Remember, goals are something that you reach. That's what average people do. That's what people with great intentions do. But standards are things that legendary people do. The people that separate themselves, the people that lead instead of follow, because they understand standards are something that you live by. Make it a standard to become the greatest version of yourself. It all starts with you.
And at the end of life, when you take that last breath, you can have a sense of satisfaction instead of regret. You did more with less than others did with most. Some of the reason why you haven't achieved your goals is not because of your talents, it was because of your connections. You've allowed people to connect with you that drain you. Your energy, your focus, your talents, your time must be invested in things that will bring about a return on your investment. When you put in your workout, when you put in that time in the gym, your body responds under stress, under pressure. That's why you cannot quit, because life gets hard.
What do I do when I'm broken? When I'm broken, I relish it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? But once I see it, once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap.
But it's okay not to have it all together. It's okay to go through a struggle. It's okay to say, man, you know what, I'm having a hard season. It's okay, you're a damn human being. Life isn't always gonna be perfect. But you realize life is what it's supposed to be. When you just accept life and you realize that I'm gonna have my down times, I'm gonna have my up times. But a lot of times what we're doing is we're tying our worth, we're tying our fulfillment to things that can't fulfill us.
You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes up, you got all the books, you got all the tapes, you got all the access. Now it's time to hunt. And what separates you from everybody else is that when it's time to hunt, you're ready to hunt. Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody's got lions on their profiles. Everybody talks positive about themselves. Everybody talks like you're a beast. You dress like you're a beast. You got the cards like a beast. Your image, everything about you says, I'm a beast. That's how you present yourself. When you present, I'm a beast. But then when it's time to do what beasts do, you back up. You have an excuse.
It's extreme power in the ability to want to grow, right? I always say the ability to learn is a gift, even when pain is your teacher. Everything that happens to me can contribute to my advancement, my growth, and my development if I allow it. Even those things that don't benefit me, don't feel good, and don't work out in my favor, it can still contribute to my advancement and my development as a man, as a son, as a brother, as a friend, as a leader. If I let it, it determines upon my perspective about how I view the situation, the circumstance, and the things that I encounter. That's why I say perspective drives performance every day of the week.
Hard is what you can expect when your gift is going to be a blessing to others. In order to get the greatness out of you, you must come under great trial and tribulation. But with great trial and tribulation comes a testimony. But a testimony comes out of being tested and becoming triumphant. You are on your way to becoming more, but in order to become more, you've got to go through losing some things.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger. and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get... You have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. So if you break, if you break, the fight isn't over.
We cannot quit, we cannot give up, we cannot turn back now. If people understood just how heavy a burden that you carry on you, but that burden is also the way to your blessing. Carry it, you're getting stronger. Carry it because it makes you, that chip that sits on your shoulder is the thing that makes you different than somebody that might have an equal ability or talent. That chip is called responsibility. That chip is called accountability. You are becoming, and as a result of it, you're going to have to shed some things that try to make you less. But those haters will make you greater. Let them hate, let them criticize. Instead of you being thin-skinned about what they say about you, take the criticism, take the critique, and become more. Build your mind, build your physique, build your spiritual life. And then show them what they could never be. Because they're not willing to put in the price that you just paid. To be a star, you must shine your own light. You must follow your own path. You can't worry about the darkness, for it's then that the stars will shine the brightest. You will go through dark times, you will go through dark moments, you will go through frustration. But it is then that you are on your way. Just don't quit in the middle of the darkness, because this valley of death that is there, you can't feel the evil, because all it has is sounds and noise. Throw in your headset, throw in the thing that allows you to get into your zone.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70, because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
I want you to be wealthy and rich so you can take care of your family, give back to your community, hopefully. But my question to you, if you want to be wealthy and rich, how much would you be worth if you lost the money? Like if you became wealthy and you got it and you came into it, but one day you lost it, then how much would you be worth? And I say that to say, how much would your last name be worth? Every day I wake up, I think about, what if this was the last day of my life on this earth? How would I want somebody to report to my son, my daughter, or my wife on my behalf if I leave this world and I'm not in their presence? How much would your last name be worth? Meaning, can your seeds and the people that you reproduce come into this world, can somebody go up to them and say, oh, that was your father? You good. Because of what your father once stood for.
Faith to act on whatever your dream is. When you decide I'm going to do it no matter what, life changes for you. See, most people don't keep their commitments to their commitments. That's why they lead lives of poverty.
The darkness. The sun doesn't shine every day. The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. But don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you.
It's the mindset. There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. There are those of you in this room, you don't need another course. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself, and it comes out when you're talking to other people.
Even in the darkest times, even in the strongest storms, even when the sun is blotted out and the world is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your light.
You see, when you step on the court, when you step on the field, when you step in the boardroom, you have to take with you the idea that self-promotion is a right thing. You've been told all your life, be quiet, be humble. But this is not about humility. This is about making sure that the one thing given to you by God that is just yours, your gifts, your time, your talents, your abilities, that thing, you need a bullhorn with and say, world, I am here because there is someone on the other side of the earth that needs what's in your hands. But they can't get it if you're silent, if you're whispering, if you're afraid to say it. Because you don't want them to think that you're egotistical.
Socrates said the uncommitted life isn't worth living. So part of what you must do, whatever commitment, whatever covenant you make with God while you're here, to go back to be a better father, to go back to make a difference in the community, to go back to change your life, to decide not to ever use drugs or alcohol again, to decide that you're going to begin to recreate yourself, that you're going to be reborn to a new state of consciousness. Whatever commitment that you make, keep your commitment to your commitment, no matter what.
Your will, your determination, no matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end.
If they knew what you went through to become you, they would celebrate the fact that you even walked in the room. Because by all honest accounts, you shouldn't be here. When you look and see the door open, I'm coming through with every one of my dreams and aspirations, and I will not be denied. I'm coming.
We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. Like you don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. They ain't worked for it. They ain't sacrificed for it. Every time it get tough, they go blow weed. They ain't working for it, right? They ain't got nothing sacrificed into it. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from them.
Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight on. To fight against the darkness is to win. So fight on.
Sometimes you gotta take a break from just about everything, disappear, come back, and shock the world. I'm talking to that athlete. I'm talking to that administrator. I'm talking to that nurse, that doctor. I'm talking to that student. I'm talking to that communicator. I'm talking to that pioneer, that inventor. I'm talking to that entrepreneur. I'm talking to that preacher. I'm talking to that person who refuses to stay where they are. I'm talking to that person
that doesn't have a problem laying in obscurity, because you know that when you come out of the dark room, all eyes on you. We live in a culture of busyness, distraction, and noise. And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear. Sometimes you gotta delete the app. Sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to fall back into the dark room and focus on you. Everybody wants destiny. Everybody wants manifestation. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants the next level in the relationship and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and get into a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could just shut out every distraction? What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you? A man is rewarded in public for what he does in private. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on you? Focus on what matters. Why are you here? What is your destiny? The reason why you don't see it, the reason why it has not manifested, the reason why you are so frustrated is because you have not been willing to forsake all that you've been called to forsake and to follow through behind closed doors. Sure, you can talk about it. Sure, you can plan it. Sure, you can write it down. Sure, you can go to the conference and hear about it. You can read about it. But at some juncture, you have to disappear and put the work in and come back and shock everybody that doubted you. I'm talking to that man, that woman, that boy, that girl who feels the fire in their belly. It's time for you to shock the world. You may have to sleep in your car. You may have to go without food. You may have to bounce around from couch to couch. You may have to sacrifice like nobody in your family ever has. But can you do it behind the scenes when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching, when nobody understands the measure of passion that you carry? Can you keep going? Don't stop. You're right there. Go through the process in the dark room that prepares us and equips us for the stages of destiny.
It's time to get real. It's time to get raw. It's time to look ourselves in the mirror and come to the resolve that this version of ourself is not going to carry us in the stretch. That I've been this version of myself long enough that if I don't change, if I don't do something about this, then I'm gonna find myself bankrupt.
Some of the most monumental and transformational portraits and pictures that we've ever seen were developed in the dark room. We celebrate athletes and we celebrate critical thinkers and innovators and actors, and we praise them and coin them our heroes, and we follow them by the millions. We love what they do in public, but you don't know the story behind the glory. You don't know the blood, the sweat. You didn't see the tears that they cried, the prayers that they prayed, the countless weeks where they went without sleep to get where they are. One of the greatest tragedies in life is to live and not know why you're living. I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that wants their future, that wants to fulfill their destiny, that wants to manifest, that wants to walk in discipline and determination. I'm just wondering, is there anybody here that's willing to disappear? Are you willing to forsake all distractions? Can you hide yourself in the library? Can you hide yourself in the gym? Can you hide yourself in the boardroom and plan and caucus and do what is required behind the scenes in order to manifest the moment? Can you hide yourself in your books? Can you hide yourself in your closet? Can you hide yourself in the prayer rooms? Can you hide yourself? We have this passion to be in the public eye, but no patience to do the work behind the scenes. Stop telling the world what you are about to do.
Steve Jobs once said, "We do not say anything about future products. We work on them in secret, and then we release them to the world." We only have so much real estate in our minds and our hearts. We only have so much bandwidth in our mental capacity. And the more distractions, the more delusions, the more negativity that we allow to take up real estate in our hearts and in our minds, the less energy we have to fulfill the call, to fulfill destiny, to manifest the idea. Everything that you think about, that you meditate on, everything that has to your attention has to be worth your time. So now it's time to navigate and do an appraisal of everything that's in our life, everything and everybody in our life. Time to do an appraisal and ask them this question: are you worth my time? If you're not, it's time to unplug. Time to unplug. Time to unplug. I'm just wondering if there's anybody that can hear my voice right now that has come to the end of themselves and they are willing to eliminate distractions. They are willing to delete social media apps if they have to. They are willing to walk away from everything that is distracted, everything that has diluted your devotion and your determination, every disease and dysfunction and disorder that has pulled you from destiny after you have heard it, after you have received it, after you have written it down, after you have spoken it once. Do what is required to manifest it into reality. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. Stop telling everybody what you're going to do. Stop telling everybody what your next move is, and just disappear and do the work that is required. Don't be bitter. Don't be frustrated. Listen, just remain faithful behind the scenes. Promotion is coming. Stages and opportunities are being prepared right now as you sacrifice in secret, as you put the work in the dark room, as you do what is required to hold in your hand what you see in your hand. When no one is there to affirm you, when nobody's there to validate you, when nobody is there to agree with you, you build in the dark and you announce it when it's finished.
zijn werkers op de vlucht met een nieuwe naam. Beetje halen, beetje trekken, beetje duwen daar. Niemand belooft je morgen, dus beweeg. Vermijd onzin, alles wat prioriteit heeft, dat wordt nu gedaan. Sta van weinig nog versteld, ik pak een koude bij de Shellways, geeft 1 uur en 10 minuten aan. Op de basisschool was ik al populair, werd altijd uitgekozen, maar nu hoop ik soms dat ze me niet zien staan. Ik kom van hele koude dagen, zelfde oudje, dus normaal dat je met moeite soms je kleren past. Ik kom van babystacks en klerenkast, die fucking money hier heeft nooit mijn trots en nooit mijn eer getast. Ik heb geen zin in telefoontjes, zet hem op die halve maan. Ik ga vanavond reageren pas. Soms vraag ik af, wat zou ik doen als ik nu 20 was? Als ik zie dat die jongen van 20 LL of 20 pakt. Droeg mijn zomerjas als winterjas. We leefden in de zomer en werkten als het winter was. Flinke pap, we maken flinke pap. Iedereen had praatjes, maar Appie is er nooit in getrapt. Bolides worden hier ingetrapt. Ogen open, maar jongens trappen hier blind naar pap. Ik weet nog dat ik in de sprinter zat, het minder had dan hun, maar hun niet zagen dat ik minder had. Nu maak ik millies hier op beats, we komen allemaal van niets. Een beetje donnies bij die klanten rappen. Soms is er geen limiet, dan gaan we diep. Leg de 11 kop voor huur in Dubai, alsof het barkies waren. Lig aan de kust, je moet je baas weer om vakantie vragen. De dagen vliegen, maar met niks, dan heb je lange dagen. De schooldirecteur die was me zat, maar ik gaf niks om mijn examen. Ik zei ik ga met garantie slagen. Het gaat niet eens om wat je slaat, maar wat je opslaat. Het gaat niet eens om hoe je valt, maar hoe je opstaat. Ik zit in mijn eigen lane, terwijl je boos bent dat ik draai en in je eentje daar kapot gaat. De een verdient online, de een nog op straat. Je moet jezelf doen, hier gaat geen een je gunnen. Voor mijn jongens die lijntje in hun eentje runnen. Voor mijn jongen die het stuurt, hij geeft zijn neefje spullen. Voor mijn werkers over grenzen die TP'tjes runnen. Je moet financiële motor zijn om mee te kunnen. Wat is genoeg en wat is klaar? Als je 6 nullen maakt, ben je benieuwd opeens naar 7 nullen. Zonder fouten wordt er ook niks meer geleerd, maar confronteer mezelf weer met zoveel dingen die hier beter kunnen. Voor mijn jongen in de cel die deze draait, zoals hij bijna op, dus deze avond draait die hele dunne. 20 ruggen hier op zak, die kleine die heeft wat gepakt en laat die Audi of Mercedes brullen. Hey broertje, niemand gaat je stenen tillen, niemand hier houdt rekening met jou of met je rekeningen. We komen van de bodem, bro, als zeemerminnen. Belasting krijgt die pap in 1 keer, ik tref geen regelingen. Herken mijn jongen op die compositietekeningen. Ik zie de zee vanuit mijn raam, dit is geen Scheveningen. Neem je wraak, dan ben je slecht, maar vergeef je iedereen, dan zien die mannen je voor sukkel aan. Nu kan ik dom een ton verspillen, maar ben ook weer slim genoeg dat ik er morgen wel weer dubbel sla. Niet eens bewust als ik die mannen uit hun bubbel haal. Ik ben waarschijnlijk alleen langs gereden. Ze denken shit komt uit de lucht, ik weet wat chance betekent. Nu blijf ik scoren, ik heb al tijdje niet de stand bekeken. Liever broek en real, ik zeg je straight. Ik zag mensen hier voor pap hun trots verliezen en hun banden breken. Eindstand was je even aan, net als standenblekers. Als je mijn middelvinger krijgt, moet je geen hand meer geven. Creëer je eigen plan en eigen kans. Mijn jongen die praat Frans, maar heeft op school vroeger nooit Frans gekregen. Ik kom van overlast creëren in de wijk. Wachten tot het korps komt en loesoe op die 180 geven. Mijn pas kan niet meer leeg, ik zeg je straight. Maar die kleine hier slaat millies op die app, hij is op pasjes leeg. Heavyweight, maar kom van grammen wegen. Ik hoor jij ook, maar ik kwam niemand van die mannen tegen. Haat is dichtbij, dus niet schrikken als het je dreddy is. Ze sliepen, nu schrikken ze van hoe ver hij is. Die mannen zijn anders als er geen chemie is. Ze hoeven mij niks te vragen als het mijn fam niet is. Zeg die man oppassen alsof die nanny is. Zeg die man oppassen alsof die nanny is. We reden merrie alsof het roze was. Maar nu rijden we die roze alsof het merrie is. Mijn tijd is geld, kan geen minuutje meer met sukkels lullen. Was jong en wild, ik liet mijn bak in elke tunnel brullen. Er is niemand die je hoort, dus nu voel je je geboord. Maar broeder, niemand is jouw hulp schuldig. Mijn trui is niet van voor. Loro's aan met veters, mijn brakka is van Dior, ik kom zorgvuldig. Verdiende kleine pap toen ik nog tonnen wilde. En soms moest je stelen als het je honger stilde. Belasting heeft geprofiteerd van mij. Kom jij niet verder dan je straat, dan lijkt de wereld klein. Voor deze pap die ik hier sla, zet jij je eer opzij. 10 milli minimaal voordat we 40 zijn. We waren altijd in de minderheid. We voelden me niet zo, mijn money bracht me in de meerderheid. Je werd verliefd en raakt je hart bij de verkeerde kwijt. Ik zeg mijn broertje, doe maar wat je hebt geleerd van mij. Ik kom van draaien in de stad, ik was actief de hele nacht. Ik pakte 's ochtends weer de eerste trein. Die dure klokken, grote huizen, camoufleert de pijn. Die dure klokken, grote huizen, camoufleert de pijn. Dit leek een grap, nu doe je alsof je gelooft in mij. De meeste mensen raak je altijd op de bodem kwijt. Sterrenhemel, mijn kleine, die kijkt zijn ogen uit. Al die koppen worden thees als jij je hoofd gebruikt. Beweeg in silence, toch houden ze daar een oog op mij. Wat had je pinda en doe er een koude cola bij. Maar als ik kijk dan voelt het leeg. Mijn beste broeders staan op inter of zitten totdat ze opa zijn. Met hete werk moet je soms ook kunnen branden. Vieze situaties waar je soms in kan belanden. Oude gardes hebben millies hier aan gronden en aan panden. Cash is koning, jonge jongens halen uit of zoeken klanten. We kiezen zelf voor de fouten die we maken, maar we gooien het direct op, heb niet alles in mijn handen. Chaos aan mijn tel, ben aan het schelden voor mijn geld. Terwijl ik hier nu net parkeer, bos ik mijn velg een vieze randje. Mijn netwerk is echt sterk, ik ben scherp. Ik maak nu millies op mijn phone, maar had een wegwerp. Hoe ik die blaadjes laat vallen bro, hier lijkt net herfst. Je moet rennen voor je hak, is hoe het echt werkt. Die jongens hebben niks, maar lopen met merk. Die kleine jongens kijken op naar niks. Je bent een realist of bent een optimist. Dit is geen golf 8, hier zit geen stopper in. Ken je de smaak niet van verlies, ga je geen winst maken. Zie kleine kinderen een kind maken. Recht is recht, die kromme mensen moet je links laten. Ik zag 100 kilo in mijn dromen op die brinkswagen. Ben je geen man en ben je zwak, dan ga je blind raken. Je mengt en verdient niks, maar gaat gelinkt raken. Uithalen, nieuwe lading moet je inladen. Paranoid, je kan niet meer zonder die ding slapen. Mijn werken sturen Zodiacs. Dat is wat anders dan die ponypacks. Kom pull op met RM's, denk je dat ik alleen rollies heb? Nieuwe wereldlist die ik niet draag en nog geen folie heb. Heb ik mijn doel nog niet van jou, dan word je ook gecheckt. Dan kom je moeilijk van me af, ben net een olievlek. Mijn binnenhalers zoeken money van een oliesheik. Dus kleine gaan naar school en denk niet dat je nu al Tony bent. Kom niet vanzelf, ik heb heel lang moeten zoeken hier. Niemand liet me zien, ik heb zelf moeten zien. Mijn moeder wou me liever in de boeken zien. Maar ik was koppig en te wild, ik wilde doekoe zien. En plus aan klokken bro, vraag me juwelier. Als het niet lukte met die rap, dan zocht ik douaniers. Ik ben geregeld met die jongens, zijn hem roeien hier. Echt, ik zag moeders hier ten einde raad. Als ik nog even gas geef, bouw ik mijn eigen straat. Ik wou niks horen van die mensen, ik was pijpelaar. En als het lag aan mij, waren we beiden klaar. Geef lijpen RS6 en hij wordt rijgevaar. Geen ene multi die ik ken, die is een twijfelaar. Geen ene knaller die ik ken, die is een twijfelaar. En zelfs als je hebt geslagen, moet je blijven gaan. We werken hier voor niemand, ik ben eigenaar. Zoveel plekken opgevuld als iemand wegviel. Al slaan we echt deals, ik hou het echt real. Hou je mooie praatjes, kom van slecht nieuws en negatieve mensen, dus begrijp als ik je wegdeal. Net toen ze dachten het is klaar, maak ik nog een plan. De een heeft schade of door leningen zijn kop verbrand. De een zit in Dubai met 100 M, maar dit is allemaal begonnen met een Nokia en 100 gram.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
So who's the best player in the world ever?
Me.
Where does this confidence come from? What were you like as a child? Were you always like this? Did you know you were destined for greatness?
I was always one of those guys, yeah.
Oh, I can believe
it. I'm sure
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it.
To all of you out there, please keep your dreams alive. Dreams are something you have to believe in. I almost gave up on mine. They say stories like this only happen in the movies. I cannot believe it's happening to me. Mom, I just won an Oscar.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
The mind is but a magnet to what you want. You know what I'm saying? A law of attraction.
4th grade, I went in my closet. I said, I am going to the NBA.
When I was a kid, I used to visualize stadiums and like raising my hand and visualizing a arena full of fans. And that was something I'd done as a kid. So I always had these visions of something. You have to do that. You have to battle with this.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
So a lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
Connor, you've been dreaming about this moment. You've been talking about this moment. Honestly though, does it feel the way you thought it would?
Yeah, it does. It feels beautiful. I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality, and that's what I am feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life, you can grow immensely in the next few years, you can make your dreams come true, you can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through, you can become healthy, you can become powerful. Why not you?
There's this thing about people, and they talk about manifesting. It's real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it, like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, you know, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real. And there's no excuses. There's no days off. There's no, you know, not willing to grind and, you know, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining. There's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want. They know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
You know, through years in the gym, through wins, through losses, through life, I just realized that if you say it to yourself and you look yourself in the eye and look yourself in the mirror and truly believe that not a man alive can beat you, then that is the way it is. And just through hours in the gym and preparation, I feel that I am untouchable right now.
I think that there's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened for the last 50 million years of history. You have to believe that something different can happen. Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
Wow, so your brain doesn't really know the difference between, say that again?
Between something that happened in real life or something that you strongly visualize.
Wow, so you could create...
Most people talk to themselves in terms of doubt and fear and worry and anxiety. Talk to yourself positive. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Just repeating, I can do it over and over again. Boost your self-confidence and boost your self-esteem.
We did not come this far to just break down and lose now. Everything's not always about winning and losing. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
There's people like us, so we're crazy in the sense that we believe to be, it's almost delusional sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, like, what's the one, I've heard this quote on the JRE before, it's like, greatness and madness are next door neighbors and they just borrow each other's sugar once in a while. It was madness. It was me preparing for having a sports car, paddle shifts. So I shifted, 3. I can manifest like a motherfucker. Everything comes from the imagination. Everything comes from the imagination. So the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning. But I know one thing is I can make things happen. I can go into levels, I just can't tell the world, but like these levels that like I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself. Like, how the f did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting. This is to do with my personal life. And I'm like, I made that happen. And this is through this like manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just like, I really made that happen. It's scary, man.
You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. You gotta create dream boards. You gotta put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you wanna be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the law of attraction.
And now here's my last question on the questions to ponder is why not now?
Your future hasn't been written yet. No one's had. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one.
If a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves. See how you'd like to live your life. See yourself living it that way. Okay. Now understand that that's a picture in your mind. And then take that picture and describe it, write it out in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself, and write it out. Start to read it, and read it, and read it, and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers, all down through history, have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it. And when William James said, believe and your belief will create the fact, you will see the person's personality change.
Me signing my signature
with Champion 2011 on it, it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more, you know? So yeah, I mean, it works for me.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe. When you believe, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Go. And take it whatever way you want it to be.
Anything you say with the words I am, your subconscious will then take that as a command.
And I used to go up to Mulholland Drive every night, sit on the side of the road, look out at the lights, and go, you know, I'm a popular actor. I'm, you know, every director wants to work with me. And I used to like open my arms and imagine things, you know, things that I wanted to come in my way and stuff. I would stay up there until I actually believed that I had all these things. And then I would drive down the mountain feeling like the biggest star in Hollywood. I wrote a check out to myself for $10 million for acting services rendered. And I put it in my wallet and I carried it for that many years. And what happened was basically a few months ago, we did the deal for the mask for $10 million.
$10 million payment for doing the mask.
Right. And so it's very surreal for me. It's strange.
We become what we think about most of the time. And that's the strangest secret. This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important. Because we will become that.
Connor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car, you didn't have a pot to piss in. All you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it, you called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything. So that's where I am right now.
And I've always had visions of better. I've always visualized better. And in times of struggle, like driving down in a banger of a car that I had to push start, I'd be still driving a soft top Bentley around beautiful California in my head, and lo and behold, now I am driving a beautiful soft top Bentley around California. So I always visualized good things. I always visualized victory, success, abundance. I visualized it all, and it's all happening.
Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become. Because when you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you. When your brain sees you high-fiving yourself in the mirror, it starts to go, oh, wait a minute, Steven loves himself. Steven's cheering for himself. We don't beat Steven up.
But again, nothing changes for me, you know what I mean? I already felt like I had money back then, even though I didn't have money. I always felt like I was the champ, even though I wasn't the champ, you know what I mean? So nothing changes for me. I still feel the same way as I did before. I continue to do what I do day in, day out. I show up at the gym, I train. When I leave the gym, I take down notes of what happened in training, all the scenarios that have occurred, what we learned, what we did. I go back to the gym, I repeat. And then that's it, that's my life.
The 3 most common traits of highly successful people. Do you remember those?
So the 3 most common traits of hyper successful people that they looked at, and it was interesting. So number 1 was that they had a superiority complex. They thought they were better than other people and that they deserved more. The second is that they suffered from massive insecurity and feeling that they would never be enough. And third, they had impulse control.
Visualization activates your superconscious capabilities and releases your mental potential. The clearer the picture is in your mind, the more rapidly your subconscious and superconscious go to work to bring it into your reality.
My father always jokes that I could be doing anything. I said, listen, by the time I'm 25 years old, I'm gonna be a self-made millionaire. And he laughed at me.
How old are you?
I'm 24 now, so you know, I feel like a millionaire. I feel like a superstar, and that's the way I felt back then when I first started. You know what I mean? I kept that vision in my head. I kept that belief. I hit the gym. I trained hard. I believed in my abilities, and now here I am.
Let me leave you with some words from Muhammad Ali. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in a world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare.
Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point,
the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want.
There's only one thing that's impossible, and that's to be a man that doesn't give up.
You need an alter ego, a version of you that's limitless. Make your weaknesses their strength. Make your insecurity their confidence. Give them a name. Give them traits. Create an amazing character. When you need them, let them take over. And eventually, you won't need to pretend. It will just be you.
This is why people who set goals achieve them. The trouble with men is not in achieving their goals. They do that. It's in establishing them. I think it's good to remember that if we just go along with the crowd, we won't wind up with much more than the wish that we could do it all over again, and as far as we know, you can't. If we want to amount to anything as individuals, we need individual goals, individual thinking, individual actions, and we must never conform to the big group.
This is the law of attraction. I mean, you have to, in the struggle, you know, when things are going good and you visualize these good things happening, you visualize more good things happening, that's easy. What's not easy to do is when things are going bad and you're visualizing the good stuff. And that was what I was able to do. I was able to, you know, even though I was having these troubles at home, and even though I had no job, no, you know what I mean, or whatever, I still was able to feel like it was. I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualizing a brand new car and visualizing good things in times of struggle. And that, when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more, you know what I mean? Because that is harder to do when you're in the struggle to visualize these things.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're here for a purpose, to enrich the world. Your destiny is in your mouth and in your mind. Once you receive that level of confidence, you know what I mean, and it's practiced properly, it will surpass a genius. There's nothing more supreme than confidence. Confidence breeds success, and success breeds confidence. Applied properly, you're inconquerable.
I am in a state of zen. The closer the fight comes every time, I say it over and over, the face becomes blank. There is no face. It's just blank and a fresh body type. I am calm, cold, ruthless, and ready to take out the body that's in front of me.
Ever since you came to the UFC, the confidence has been sky high. You said you were going to be the champion. You said you were going to take over. You've achieved all that and probably more. You really have taken over the sport. Undoubtedly the biggest star in it. Where does this confidence come from?
You know, confidence grows through work ethic, through seeing what's happening around you, and that's it. I put the work in, and it's paying off.
Whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself.
We're all in a battle with our own brains.
It's the most powerful thing in the world, is your own brain. It can work for you or against you.
And when did you start to realize that the visualization could work for you? Because the visualization got you through the SEAL training, I think.
It did, and I was able to visualize the end. So when I was 297, and I was all fat and out of shape, and I couldn't run a quarter mile, and I was drinking milkshakes and eating boxes of donuts, I visualized, man, how would it feel? So after I watched that show on Discovery Channel, for a brief moment, there was 22 guys that graduated. I watched this segment on TV about these guys going through Navy SEAL training. And I couldn't even, I wasn't a great swimmer, I was afraid of the water, all this man. And I saw these guys just quitting. But at the very end, it says 22 guys, this commanding officer's up there, and he gives this great speech. I was like, man, I wonder. So I started visualizing me being the 23rd guy in these dress whites, sitting there with these guys, getting that Navy SEAL, graduating this Navy SEAL training. I was like, God. So I put myself there. I was like, man, that's an amazing feeling. I put myself there at 297, not even able to do anything that these great men were doing. I said, man, if I could feel that would change my life.
I kept going, not because I wanted to. Trust me, all of me wanted to stop. I kept going because I deserved to know what not giving up on myself felt like.
Great rule, you become what you think about, but you become what you say to yourself. So what you do is you say to yourself these magic words. You say, I never give up. Say it, say I never give up. I like myself and I never give up.
Around 2010, 2011,
I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are and our level of self-belief. I just took myself to this different mental level where I took myself from being average, very average-minded, to actually believing that I was the shit and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. Like, I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers.
I always dreamed as a kid that it was possible to score 80 or 90 or 100. I always just had a dream. Like sometimes you lay down in bed and you visualize things. You just kind of just that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I'd imagine what the uniforms look like. I'd imagine where we'd be playing. The smell of the arena and all sorts of stuff, and I would see myself, getting hot. So you just keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming, and before I go to sleep, I'm like at 120 points, And so when you grow up, downloading that into your brain over and over and over, and then that summer, I made 1,000 shots a day, 1,000.
Before you go to sleep every night, visualize yourself being, doing, and having the good which you desire. And when you impress the subconscious just before going to sleep, the subconscious works with that idea that you've given it. Even while you're asleep, the subconscious mind will be correlating you with all of the good which you have visualized. You say you may not realize it, but your mind is working for you or against you, even while you are asleep.
Once you figure out your brain, you become unstoppable to almost anything. Your brain's amazing. Once you feed it the right conversation, the right mental nutrients, the right mental supplements, the right internal dialogue at the right time, with the right hit, with the right proof of what you've done in the past, and you send that right to the right circuit, dude, you're a beast, a beast.
I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry. I remember during one lunch break, I was in the car park and it was pissing rain down, and I just said to myself, there was some music playing, and it was like there wasn't even words to it, it was just a kind of a beat, and I got like I went somewhere with it, and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna just drive out of this building, so I head home and pursue this dream of becoming a world champion in mixed martial arts, and that's what I did. I drove home. When I got home, my mother and father said, "How come you're not still at work?" And I said, "I'm never gonna go back to that site another day in my life." And then all hell broke loose. But through hard work, through dedication, they saw what I was pursuing, and they supported me, and I done it. I did it.
Visualizing is my biggest tool of life. That's why I've been able to put myself in cold water, put myself in a 100-mile race, and I'm able to go through the race and see how I'm going to feel at mile 50, almost to the exact feeling.
Right, so when it comes up, it's no surprise.
It's no surprise. I've already done this a million times. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing I practice and practice and practice and practice overnight. But also, the most important thing is I practice that feeling of accomplishment that I'm going to have.
Write everything you want on a piece of paper. Everything. I don't care. Use your wildest imagination. If you can think it, you can achieve it. Write it on a piece of paper. Read it every morning and every night. Come back here 1 year from today and see how much of that stuff then came true.
I will attract into my life what I am, not what I want. So,
pocket, you've got nothing in the bank, the creditors are calling, you're behind on your promises. And he says, here's how that occurs. You've attracted, up until now, you've attracted the things to you because of the person you've become. Now I said, well, how can I change all that? He said, very simple. If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's it. You work on yourself, personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming? See, the big question is not what am I getting paid here? The big question is what am I becoming here?
You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are.
Now think about that. If you want to attract what you want, you've got to see yourself already with it. Start to see yourself mentally. Use your imagination. See yourself already in possession of the good you desire. That will flip your mind onto a specific frequency, and you do think on frequencies. It's on that frequency that good you desire is going to start coming toward you, and you will start moving toward it. If you want to attract what you actually want, you've got to see yourself now already with it. It's only a period of time till it manifests in physical form.
Never stop, no matter how many failures. When you know you're doing what you're meant to do, you have to try.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing at a park bench. It could mean jail. It can mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, or how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything you could imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You'll be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
I'm enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse, so I'm going to enjoy the benefits of this life. I'm going to get myself a big mansion in Las Vegas. I'm going to get the soft top cars. I'm going to bring my whole team out. I'm going to spoil them and give them this life. Big steaks that size, we're eating every single night each. We're eating good, we're living good. It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and take inspiration and inspire. It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is for sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human nature. Some go one way, some go the other way. But I am enjoying my money, my hard-earned money that I have dedicated my life to.
Now, the latest research in neuroscience says you can change your brain just by thinking. So then, as you begin to think about a new possibility, and your brain begins to fire in new sequences and new patterns and new combinations, and you begin to plan your behaviors, and you begin to review in your mind, mentally rehearse who you're going to be in your life. The mere action of mental rehearsal begins to install the neurological circuits in your brain. Now your brain is no longer.
If you want a great life, there can be no days off. No days off. The desire to improve. No days off. Wanting better for your life and those you care about. You're going to have days where you go backwards instead of forwards. You're going to have days where you make mistakes, where you screw up, where you fail. Yes, there will be bad days. There's going to be days where it seems like everything and everyone is against you. But on no day will you give up. There will be no day that you will give in. There will be no day where you concede defeat. You're a warrior, and warriors never give in until the battle is won. Warriors are focused. Warriors are all in. There's nothing but victory. A warrior doesn't rest until the battle is won. Is your battle won? Listen to me. If you have battles in your life that need to be won, I'm telling you, you need to get that warrior helmet on and go win the battle. You need to suck it up and step up to the challenge. There's no days off until you win your battle. If you want a great life, there can be no days off. I don't know what your battle is. Maybe you're fighting cancer. Maybe you're broke. Maybe your relationship is breaking down. Dig deep and find that warrior within. It's warrior time, and we will not rest until victory is on. maximum commitment to your goal, 100% focus. You see nothing but your goal. You hear nothing, you taste nothing, you breathe nothing but your goal. And you do not rest until it is yours. To become your best self, there can be no days off. No days off learning. No days off searching. No days off gratitude. No days off self-care. No days off creating. No days off growing. No days off asking how. How can I be better? No days off. No days off. No days off. Are you with me?
Your mind has to seek discomfort. It has to seek these difficult tasks. You have to enjoy it. And you have to figure out a way to make your mind enjoy those things. And some people it comes easy and some people it doesn't. Some people it takes a long time. I always tell people the best thing you could ever do is force yourself to a schedule. Just write it down. Like today I have to do an hour on the treadmill. I have to do an hour, no matter what. Even if you're walking on it, you're doing an hour on a treadmill. The next time you're going to do it, just, okay, you did an hour and this is the amount of miles you got in. Next time you're going to, add 3 miles. Put an extra 3 miles in that 1 hour. And just keep doing things like that. Write down, today I'm going to do 100 push-ups, and I'm going to do 100 sit-ups, and I'm going to do 100 chin-ups. That's today. And then force yourself. Force yourself to adhere to a schedule. Make a Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout schedule. Give yourself some time off, Like don't even crush yourself to the point where you can't do it. Make it so that you really appreciate those Tuesdays and Thursdays. But on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're going to get after it, and this is what you're going to do. Most people just try to go work out, and you're kind of aimless, and you show up, and you pick up the jump rope, and you jump a little rope, maybe you hit the heavy bag a little bit, maybe you do some curls, but you don't really have an aim. That's why people like to hire trainers, because a trainer will tell you what to do. Well, you can tell yourself what to do. If you don't have money for a trainer, you don't even have to have fucking equipment. With bodyweight squats, sit-ups, chin-ups, push-ups, you could give yourself a brutal full bodyweight workout. And you can find these for free on YouTube. There's a ton of them. There's a ton of these bodyweight workouts you could do. Just force yourself. Write it down. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to do 100 push-ups. I'm going to do 100 chin-ups. I'm going to do 100 sit-ups. Even if it takes me all fucking day. Even if I have to do 10 and 10 and 10 and keep going all day, just that's what you do. Do 10 push-ups, take a break for 20 minutes, do another 10. But get those 100 in. I don't believe in half-assing things.